All right, sales team, I get asked this question all the time. How do I get past the gatekeeper? And in a short video here, I wanted to try to give you some explanation of what you're up against, why she acts the way she does, and what you can do to overcome it in this particular industry. And I think that's what's most important. Those of you who have previous sales experience, of course, utilize what you've already learned maybe to get past certain gatekeepers. However, in this particular industry, usually when you call, they're under the assumption of one of two things. Like if they're already running ads, they're hiring for electricians or plumbers or whatever, like she's kind of used to them calling, so she assumes you are one. So very often she's going to treat you like one. So it's not always impossible to get past her to the appropriate authority or decision maker. However, the other half of them are not running an ad. She doesn't know why you're calling, and she has been trained very specifically, as most gatekeepers are, do not put me on the phone with somebody I don't want to talk to, right? So you have to get past that, because very often it is something that they would be interested in, not like you're trying to sell a vacuum cleaner here. So how can you get past this gatekeeper when and if that happens? And what are the two different scenarios that can occur here? So the first one I'm going to rush through is basically simple. It's that, hey, she thinks I'm an electrician. She thinks I'm a plumber. It's because she is running an ad currently and I can see it. So I've been online. I've seen they're running an ad. It gave me a number, or I Googled it, and she answered B&W Electric or whatever. So how do I get past that when I know they're running an ad, the gatekeeper answers, but I'm trying to talk to Chuck, the decision maker? As soon as she says hello, B&W Electric, what you do not want to do is tell her your name and who you're with or why you're calling. I know that sounds absurd, but she's trained to block you. So if they're running an ad, they're looking for individual electricians. The last thing they want to do is be sold or pitched by an agency, particularly because of how the agencies usually behave. I'm going to charge you $50 an hour. I'm going to find a guy that'll take $5 an hour. I'm going to make a lot of money, and you're going to get poor quality work, and you're going to overpay for it. That's their experience, and that's why she's told not to pass you through. Not in every occasion. Just make that assumption. So if I call and say, hi, this is LB with Catalyst Solutions, she's already in the back of her mind going, voicemail. Sir, would you like me to send you to his voicemail? That's what I'm going to get. But when she says B&W Electric and I say something like, yes, ma'am, I saw that you guys were running an ad on Craigslist looking for licensed electricians. Can you tell me who I need to talk to, or who does the hiring for your journeyman plumbers or your apprentice electricians or whatever it is that you're trying to call on? And she typically, assuming you are that, will go, you need to talk to Ron. Now, she might put you through to a voicemail, but at least you got through. And if he is available, she'll say, well, let me see if you need to talk to Ron. Let me see if he's at his office. Now, that's how you effectively would get past that gatekeeper. Don't tell her who you are. Don't tell her exactly why you were calling until after you've just said, hey, I saw you guys are running an ad. You're looking for this. Can you tell me who's the hiring manager or who I need to talk to about that? And then she usually will push you through. Now, the other side of that is where, I'm cold calling and the gatekeeper picks up. Now, she doesn't know why I'm calling, and I can't say I saw that she was running an ad because she knows she might not be. So when she says, hello, B&W Electric, and let's say I have like 10 electricians from out of state, I've bundled them up, I've products, I'm product selling here, I've got a bill rate attached to them, I'm just trying to get these guys placed, I know they're available, but she doesn't know why I'm calling. One of the largest electrical contracts that the company's ever seen was based on this exact call, and it went just like this. The phone rang, she picked up the phone, B&W Electric, and I said, yes, ma'am, hi. And I did tell her who I was. I said, listen, my name is LB. I'm with Catalyst Solutions. Currently had a project that was 2 hours south of you guys, and it's basically coming to a close. It's coming to an end. I'm trying to find some of these guys some full-time placement or a home temporarily while they're still here, because ultimately they're going to be going back to the state they came from and or to another project. So I was reaching out to clients or customers that were local, hoping to find somebody who had a potential project that they could take these guys onto. Now, that being said, whether it's a voicemail to the decision maker or you can pass the message along, it's pretty simple. I've got 7 guys $47.50. They're available as early as Monday, anywhere in your state, and I'm just trying to pass the information along. If you know somebody that information would be useful to, then whatever voicemail or whoever I need to speak to, could you pass me through? Now, very often, that gatekeeper will know of projects where they may or may not have needed those men. She'll be aware of them. So if you approach it with the standpoint like, listen, this is not a typical call. I've already got these men. Like, I'm not calling to say, hey, I'd like to do some business with you, ma'am, maybe your boss. No, ma'am. I'm saying I already have those guys. I've been talking to them all day, all week, all morning. The cost of those men or the bill rate to you would be X amount of dollars. Very, very simple, cut and dry. Their availability is like literally right now. If you know anybody within your organization that could utilize those men, could you put me through to them? Or if I left you my cell phone number, would you pass it along and tell them if they call me, great. If they don't, no harm done. That is a very effective technique to get past the gatekeeper in either instance, whether they're already running an ad or you're just cold calling, hoping to place product that you've already been developing. Either way, those two techniques will get you past the gatekeeper about 99.9% of the time.